Alrighty. Thank y'all. Let me readjust this for a moment. Ooh, Jesus. This lead is all right. Try to bring this back over. Trying to adjust YouTube over here. I'm gonna bring him up a little bit closer. Here we go. I think we do it like that. Get a little bit more. Okay. Good evening. Good evening to y'all. I know I'm a little bit late. I said I was gonna start at 5 o'clock. Let me make sure something's on here right. Okay. I said I was gonna wait till 5 o'clock, or rather I was gonna do this at 5 o'clock. But as y'all already know, it takes a little minute to set things up. Sometimes technology doesn't want to work like it's supposed to, um, like we expect for it to. So we just get on in the best way we can. So before I get started, I'm gonna let a few people come board. I've invited and tag some people along. Yeah, on YouTube over here. I appreciate y'all for coming in on YouTube. Hey, how y'all doing? I appreciate y'all for coming in. Please subscribe to the page if you haven't already. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, tap all, leave a comment. Tapping all, as you already know, that gives you the ability to get notifications whenever I go live. Show this guy some love. Appreciate you, Caitlin. I pre I've got my glasses on and I can't hardly see. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. If it were not, and I keep saying this constantly here on YouTube, here on Facebook, if it were not for you all, I would not be in the position that I'm in now. I would not be able to have the thought of even growing to be better than um, I am now and can possibly be. So I give you all those accolades because you are the audience, you are the people, you are the heart that makes the engine continue to go. And I'm not just saying that. I like to give the people the love and appreciation that you all so much deserve. And then, as you all know, I've basically said that I was going back to the basics. And hey, April. And what I mean by I'm going back to the basics, when I started Marquez TV some years ago, back in, believe it or not, back in around 2011, 12, 13, somewhere back then, I actually was doing politics, religion, and things of that nature, but it wasn't really getting boosted out there and everything, and people were not following me because people did not want to hear that. I guess I was trying to get that younger crowd and everything, and then I learned, quite naturally, as you all already know, the more toxicity and more violence and more BS is that Instagram, TikTok, Twitter crowd. Uh, as we all know, YouTube and Facebook is it's kind of a more older crowd, and there are some young people that follow us or follow me and want to know what's going on in the world, to be abreast of world events. Because this is the thing that I've always said. Then I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to take you all's time as much as I have to. I want to be able to if I know something that's going on in the news, if I know that something detrimental is about to happen, um, and a lot of people don't watch and get their news from the mainstream media, 4, 7, 11, 16, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, all those stations like that, then they probably won't know exactly what's going on. Then, a lot of people get their information from social media and podcasts. Now, a lot of podcasters out here, I don't like them because a lot of them make up stories, add stuff to their their reports and everything just to try to get more viewers and more likes. And that's not me. I cannot do that. Uh, and and Norman, I would say I wouldn't knock anyone for their hustle, but that's dishonesty when you're adding stuff and taking away stuff that is important to the crust of what you're trying to put out there. Um, uh, I'm going to state it as I always say it: transparency, honesty, and I want to be able to give you all that news that if something happens or something is about to happen, and they say, okay, if you're going to survive, you need to be able to go here in your different sectors. I want to be able to go live and tell you all that so you will be able to know where to go, what to do, take your loved ones, your babies, and everything, and be able to uh, be knowledgeable of that. So that's what I'm doing. That's where I mean when I say I'm going back to the basics. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. So let me go ahead and get started. Okay, so uh, first of all, we're going to talk about, well, we already know about the tariffs that's going on. We know that there's another line of tariffs that you did not know that's coming out this Wednesday, that President Donald Trump is implementing. I don't know exactly what those tariffs, how much those tariffs are going to be. I'm still looking into them, how they're going to affect, who they're going to affect, and so forth. Uh, I will tell you this: uh, Benjamin Netanyahu, the president, prime minister, whatever you want to call him, from Israel, has already basically caved. He's in Washington D.C. right now, speaking with Donald Trump on the tariffs and trying to get an understanding on the tariffs it's dealing with his country, which is Israel. So basically, we know that these with these tariffs, some look at them as good, some look at them as bad, some look at them as not so good by the way that he's rolled them out. Some people say, hey, that it's an aggressive move that's needed. And some say, it shouldn't be this aggressive. They can agree, excuse me, with the terrorists, but not so harshly. Are we as Americans going to feel the grunt and brunt of it? Yes, we are. So there's no sense of of getting upset and angry about it or anything of that nature. If you watch daytime television, you can go back as far as 1988 when 37 years ago when Donald Trump spoke on Oprah. And a young Donald Trump then, and he spoke about tariffs then. So if you don't believe me, just Google it. Go back to 1988, watch the Oprah Winfrey show, and watch when she had Donald Trump on her show and the things that he said back then about tariffs and what's needed to be done. And he campaigned on it. He campaigned on a lot of this stuff, people. So there's no need to like shock and awe. There's no room for shock and awe because he's not doing anything of surprising. Um, if I can say this, if you can give me some stars on Facebook, show your appreciation. I appreciate you very much. If you can give me some stars on YouTube over here, please. As I've stated, if you're just now tuning in, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome. Hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that notification bell, tap all, so that way when I go live, you'll be able to get notifications that I am live. So we're going to start with talking about the Bob Kulen, Kuylen. He's the vice president of the North Dakota Farmers Union. And I watched this last night, and Mr. Bob was basically stating that how these tariffs are affecting the the farmers, getting their crops and to be able to put their crops out there and everything. And he said something that shocked me. He said that the farmers haven't gotten over the last tariffs that the president installed. Now, he didn't go into details, and I had to look and find out exactly which president he's talking about. If he's talking about when Donald Trump was last in office, uh, the first time, or if he applied tariffs then, or if it's when Obama or Biden or whomever. But he said that they have not recovered from those first set of tariffs. So now, if that's the case, then here we are with the second set of tariffs uh, against Canada, against China, against Mexico, and various other uh, countries. But he said, Mr. Bob, Vice President of North Dakota uh, Farmers Union, said something that struck me, and I tried to grasp the understanding of of the severity that they will go through dealing with this. And he stated that 50% of crops comes from Canada, China, and Mexico into the United States. Uh, and that's not just with the illegal immigrants that we have over here in the United States that actually pick our crops. But now most of them, or a lot of them, are gone from the United States. And I'm not, I'm not saying no, it's right or it's wrong. But I'm just saying they spoke about the jobs that Americans will not take. That a lot of these jobs, not just the picking of the crops, but a lot of jobs. A gentleman spoke last night on television, and he stated that for the pay that is given to these jobs, you will not find Americans who are willing to take these jobs. Uh, I'm just going to be honest with you. When you get people who have college degrees and can't get a job in the field that they have their college degree, and then you try to tell them, oh, well, the economy is messed up and you're going to have to take a job at McDonald's. when they might have a degree in sociology, they might have a degree in counseling, they might have a degree in education, they might have a degree in history, they might have a degree. And when I say a degree, I'm not just talking about an associate's, I'm talking about a bachelor's, I'm talking about even a master's, even a PhD. There are some people out here with masters and PhDs that, believe it or not, are having to work in fast food, are having to work in McDonald's. Now, I won't lie. Speaking of myself, I have a bad attitude. I do. I don't discredit that. I can't work in uh in fast foods. I've done it before. I've tried it before. I've gotten into it with customers. I've gotten into it with managers and so forth. And I hey, I have worked many jobs in my life. I have. I've worked many jobs in my life. And I believe firmly that people should be able to work in that want to work in jobs that where they are adapt to being able to work in those jobs, where they are good at what they do. Uh, you can't take everybody and stick them in fast food. That isn't going to work. You can't take everybody and stick them out into the field and picking crops and everything. That's just not going to work. And and it's causing our country to go the way that it is. But to tell someone that's 40, 50, 60 years old to go and flip burgers, that's kind of a, especially when it's against their will and their choice. Um, because the economy is messed up. It's just not. But getting back to this, it says he said they haven't recovered, and like I said, that the 50% of their crops come from Canada, China, and Mexico. Now, I stated to you earlier that, and I'm waiting here to see what the stock market is looking like because early this morning I was up like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and all the way through. I didn't go to bed until about almost 7 o'clock this morning because I wanted to look and see what was happening with Wall Street. We already know the stock market is down. Well, the the S&P is down. The Nasdaq is up right now. Um, Imhoff condemns high school, excuse me, his law firm's deal with Trump administration. So now they're saying Kamala Harris's husband Imhoff condemns his law firm's deal with Trump administration. If you're not familiar with that, I'll tell you. Uh, the law firm and Trump struck $100 million deal uh, for representation. I'm going to follow that story later on, all throughout this weekend. I will give another briefing at the end of this week. So just know that every Monday and Friday, I'm going to give weekly briefings on the platforms just like this. So put it on your calendars to understand and know that on Mondays, I will give briefings. I will try to do both of them at 5 p.m. Um, after the stock market is closed and everything and shut down. So I want to talk about the measles situation that's going on right now. Earlier today, I believe he might be gone from there now. Uh, Health and Human Services Secretary uh, Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., was in Texas. And if you haven't been following about the measles situation, there's been an outbreak of measles across the United States, and and there have been deaths of children across the United States from measles, from them either not being vaccinated or they someone coughed and and spread it to someone else nearby them, and I will explain in detail how that goes and so forth. So let me just do that. It says second child in Texas dies of measles. Texas alone. Now there's, I believe, 17 states, or at least it was 17 this morning, of across the United States of measles, uh, reported measles cases in states across the United States. Now here in Arkansas, we don't have any at this time, but in the state of Texas is 481 cases. Uh, and they say most of the children have not been vaccinated. People, let me explain something to you. If you have children, if you have babies, please get them vaccinated with the measles vaccine. Please, we did it when we were growing up. I mean, I don't understand where, a lot of people say they don't trust the government, and I get it. I get that. I get that fully. I understand it. But at times you have to use common sense. You have to use common sense. Uh, you you have to get your children vaccinated for measles, mumps, rubella, and everything. That's a requirement in schools. I know when I was going to Arkansas Baptist, I had to get my vaccination records to go to college, and I believe it's still the same now. If you're going to school, if you're sending your child to school, you have to get your vaccination records to 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 enroll your child in school. People, if you don't want to do it, go live off somewhere else. Take you and your family off somewhere else because you run the risk of getting people sick. This is not a conspiracy theorist on my end. It's a conspiracy theorist on your own end that you don't trust the government. You're not getting your child vaccinated. You're not doing this and you're not doing that. Well, keep your kids away from me. I mean, that's just all it is to it. If you're not going to get your children vaccinated with the measles, I'm not coming around. I'm just not, because the measles are extremely contagious. It's an airborne disease or virus that can cause death. Understand that. And kids are inherently just nasty. Kids will stick their finger in their ass and stick it in their mouth, stick their finger in their mouth. They will put feces all over them. They will dig in theirs and then come and wipe it on you and wipe it on the table and all this and everything. We know this because we were once children and we did some of the nasty crap. People, get your name for measles. Damn, it's not hard. Stop being. So it's 481 cases in Texas, 641 cases total in the United States as of April the 4th, 2025. These are some of the states right now as of this morning that has cases. Washington State, California, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, Missouri, Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, New Jersey, Maryland, Kentucky, and Rhode Island. Now, I may have missed some. To my understanding, there are a few more, that have been added to the list. I have not gotten a chance to check them to see, but I do know that the states that I just named uh, have cases of measles outbreak. Now, I'm going to give you some information so you will understand on when you should get your child. When should children be vaccinated? The first dose should come between 12 to 15 months old. Again, when should you get your children vaccinated? The first dose should come between the age of 12 to 15 months. Excuse me, months old. The second dose should be from 4 to 6 years old. So from 12 to 15 months, the first dose. Then from the age of 1 through 4 or 1 through 3, you don't have to do anything. Or I'll say two to four, because you're doing 12 to 15 months old. So that's a year and some months. Uh, so then between the ages of 4 and 6, that's when you go and get them the second dosage. So understand that. Understand that. Hear that again. Put that in your memory bank, your calendar, whatever, uh, on when you should get your children vaccinated. Please pay close attention to what I'm about to say. The risks of measles. 1 in 5 unvaccinated people with measles will be hospitalized. As many as 1 in 20 children with measles will get pneumonia, which is the most common cause of death from measles in young children. I hope y'all are paying attention, especially those who have children. There's a measles outbreak across the United States right now. You can have your conspiracy theories. Oh, they're planting this. I don't give a flying rat's ass if they are planting it. It's out there and it's contagious. 9 out of 10 unimmunized children who are in contact with an infected person will contract the virus. Let me read that to you again, and I want you to open your ears and listen and understand this. 9 out of 10 unimmunized children who are in contact with an infected person will contract the virus. People. That means you got kids in the church, you got kids, let me find it, because I want it to be, I wrote it down. I want them exact. Things being said. And now, hold on. Okay, so you think about it. You got kids in church, schools, grocery stores, uh, department stores, restaurants, especially these buffets. People will bring their children into these buffets, and these kids will walk up there and touch everything. And stop letting your kids touch on it. You get your lazy ass up and go fix your kids' plates. And when I say the kids, I'm talking about from the age, in my opinion, I'm talking about from the age of of 10 and younger. I'm gonna say 10 and younger. Get your ass up and go fix them kids' plates. Stop letting 6 and 7 and 5-year-olds and everything come up there and touch on everything and trying to fix their own plates at buffets. That is the most sickest, nastiest mess that I've ever seen in my life. No, I don't have kids and don't want any. So I can easily say that. And I stick by what I say. You know, y'all are the ones that choose to have them. That's on you. If you choose to have them, then you need to do the right thing. You the one to chose the responsibility of having kids. So what comes along with it, you need to do that because this measles outbreak is going on, people. And to the restaurant owners, y'all need to put some stipulations on these people. I don't give a damn if you are running a business and you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Fuck that. Health overrides any bullshit about about that. Health overrides that. Start telling these people, sit your kids down and you go over there and fix their plate. Sanitize your hands and go over there and fix their plates. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Measles virus, and hold on, let me go back. Let me just go back and put some more context on it. When kids are in church, we're gonna use church because everybody mingling all around and everybody want to fellowship afterwards. Folks want to hug on those kids and touch on them and everything and kiss on them and everything. These babies will sneeze in your face. These babies will sneeze, snot will run out their nose, they'll wipe it, and then they'll wipe it on their clothes, or they'll touch something else, they'll touch some other kid's hand, they'll grab the other kid's hand and say, come on, let's go. They don't be meaning no harm, they babies. But that you ain't carrying no Clorox white cloths in your purse or nothing to wipe your kids' hands off with, no tissue to wipe their nose off with, to wipe their snot off their lip with, or nothing. And then your child, now they got somebody else sick. Because I know, I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm just gonna say it. If I did have children and my children got sick and died from measles or something, and it was found out that your child was already sick and your child touched my child and I would, let's just say you and your child wouldn't be around no more. Let's just say that. Let's just say that you and your child wouldn't be around no more. People, I'm serious. Start taking care of your business. Start taking care of your children and doing the right thing. A lot of people aren't going to like me for what I'm saying, but hey, a lot of people know that I'm telling the truth. Let's keep it real. The measles virus can live up, excuse me, can live for up to 2 hours on a surface or in the air where the infected person breathes the contaminated air. or touch the infected surface, and then touch their eyes, their nose, their mouth, they can be infected themselves. Understand that again. I'm going to read that one more time. The measles virus can live for up to 2 hours on a surface or in the air where the infected person breathed the contaminated air or touched the infected surface and then touched their eyes, nose, or mouth. They can be infected. Measles is so contagious that if an individual has measles is so contagious that if an infected person has measles, up to 9 in 10 of their close contacts who are not immune will also be affected. Do I make sense when I say this? Y'all think it's cute when a baby sneezes and coughs and everything, and y'all are not paying attention to what proper measures you need to take. If your child is sick, keep your child at home away from everybody else. Plain and simple. That's just the bottom line. Take your child and go see the pediatrician. Make sure that your child is vaccinated with their first dosage between 12 to 15 months of age, and then the second dose between the ages of 4 and 6 years old. It's just that simple. It's just like getting a flu shot for us grown folks. Now, there are a lot of us that don't go get the flu shot. And hey, that's your business. I'm not here to criticize you on that. I am not. But I am here to criticize you on getting these kids vaccinated for measles. Sir, this country needs to make it mandated. If you cannot and you will not go and get your kids vaccinated for measles, I do not believe they should be able to be enrolled in school. I do not believe that. Uh, I mean, I wish they could be stopped from going in the grocery stores and department stores and restaurants and everywhere else. Um, it will be intrusive to say, okay, you need to start showing all your medical records, showing that your child is vaccinated when you get ready to go into this restaurant. But that would be too intrusive. But it's not intrusive to get them enrolled in school because they're around hundreds, if not thousands, of other children that they could infect and kill. And even taking it another step, if the parent arbitrarily doesn't get their child vaccinated, and then it's proven that their child went to school with the measles and got somebody sick and they died, charge the parent with murder. Charge the parent with homicide. Because ultimately, it is the parent's fault. Because the parent should have took their child and got them vaccinated. That's what I believe wholeheartedly should happen. Let me say that again. If a child goes to school and he or she is found to have had measles, had the virus, and that child went to school unvaccinated because their parent chose to say, oh, I'm not going to put that stuff in my child's body. And their parent sent them to school and they got another child sick and or the child died. And it could be proven that this woman sent her child to school with measles and the child was unvaccinated, and this child or these children died because of contracting the measles virus from this woman's child. This woman or father, parent or parents should be charged criminally, locked up, and sent to prison on a murder charge. Plain and simple. I think it should be either second or first degree murder. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Because there are a lot of parents out here that have these conspiracy theories and they want to say, oh, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna send my child. And then when your child get infected with this virus, and then they get sniffles and everything, oh, you can get your ass on up, you going to school. Now we know there are a lot of parents that are like that. Give them some diamond tap and send them on to school, still sick. Consequences comes with the actions. Plain and simple. I don't have no sympathy for it. When you taking your kids around other kids and getting them and risk getting them sick and possibly dying. I don't have no sympathy or compassion for you whatsoever. Your ass need to be in prison. Okay. I want to talk about next this situation with Harriet Tubman. Now, you know, some some years ago, Harriet Tubman was said to be getting ready to be placed on the $20 bill. They were going to remove Andrew Jackson's face off the $20 bill, and they were going to put Harriet Tubman. Well, I clearly told people that was not going to happen. I don't give a damn what they got. It just ain't gonna happen. Point blank, period. People wish this and wish that, but we all know what is and is not going to happen. And Harriet Tubman is not going to be put on no $20 bill. And to couple that with this is to say this. The reason she's not going to be put on a $20 bill is because the Trump administration just scrubbed the search engine of the government of Harriet Tubman. You can't even search her on the government website. Everything about her and various other African Americans in history are being scrubbed, just like DEI, just like EEO and EEOC and everything. Basically, this administration is trying to wipe out all of Black history that went on. I would probably say beyond the civil rights movement. And if they can, they're going to wipe out the civil rights movement history. So just know that is going on too. Now, I want to discuss also this situation um, about Donald Trump running for president on a third term. Now, we all know or I'll say, I won't take it for granted and say we all know. But according to the 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution, it clearly states that no president can serve more than 2 terms. 2 terms does not mean back to back or apart, consecutive or concurrently. 2 terms means 2 terms. Donald Trump is serving his second term. Now, the last president that we had that served, I believe he served 12 years, and that was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, if I'm correct. He served 12 years. And that's the reason the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution, to my understanding, was added and ratified, because we do not have kings and dictators. We have a president that is elected by the people. And some people have the thought that, well, okay, well, what he can do is he can have J.D. Vance run for president, and then he can be vice president. Then J.D. Vance can decide and let him step back in as president. That ain't gonna work either, people. Because now, if you go to the 12th Amendment to the United States Constitution, the 12th Amendment states that no person sitting as a president can turn around and serve as a vice president. So that theory is out the window. Now, the only other way is for the Constitution to be abridged and rewritten. It would take 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate and 38 of the 50 states in the United States to agree that they want to change the Constitution to allow Donald Trump to run a third term, which is not going to happen itself. In the House right now, we have 220 Republicans and we have 213 Democrats. That means you would have to get if all the Republicans voted, you would have to get a vast number of Democrats to agree and vote in as well, which you're not going to get. And you're not going to get all 220 Republicans to vote for it, because there are some Republicans that will be glad when this man's 4-year term is up. And the same way in the Senate. The Senate is it 51-49, or is it 52-48? But Mitch McConnell is about to leave. He's talking about he's about to leave, so that's gonna knock him down. So is a Democrat gonna come out or a Republican gonna come out in his seat out of Kentucky? So those theories are not going to work, people. Understand something. Donald Trump will not be able to run a third term, according to the United States Constitution. And we got a lot of people who are saying, well, look exactly what he's doing to the Constitution now with the Constitution being. In my opinion, you can't compare these things that he's doing now dealing with the Constitution to him running for a third term. And then also the things that he's doing with the Constitution with these executive orders, these executive orders are being questioned by judges and being placed on hold and everything. And yes, he's also basically, his administration is basically telling judges that they can go to hell. But going back to, if the two-thirds, and 30 out of 50, 38 out of 50 did happen, then that means if Obama wanted to run again, he could run again. If Bill Clinton wanted to run again, he could run again. And there is no doubt in my mind whatsoever. If Bill Clinton was to run against Donald Trump, Bill would beat him hands down. Bill Clinton would beat him hands down. Hold on. My computer froze up. I can't pull it up. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Bill Clinton is younger than Donald Trump. Bill might be he might be 70. He might be 70. But so people, I believe that's just hype that they want to bring up and talk about just to keep it relevant. And we're giving it too much fuel. Okay. Now, this is one I'm about to talk about is extremely controversial, but I'm going to bring it up anyway and talk about it. I believe the solution to this economy is this. I believe everyone should be put on the same level. And in order to put everybody on the same level, you take all the money, and I'm just going to say this really simple, and then I'm going to end this conversation. To put everyone in the United States on the same level, you do this. You take all the billions of dollars away from Elon Musk, away from Mark Zuckerberg, away from all these billionaires, Oprah, Tyler Perry, everybody. You take all their money from them, and everybody in the United States gets $100,000 annually to a chip that is placed in everybody's arm. A chip is placed in your arm, and you have $100,000 in your arm. Now, for families, it's a little bit different. The price will be a little bit different, but $100,000 for everybody. Put that in your arm. You can go out, you can buy a car, you can buy a house, and everything, food, and everything that you need to be have. All this land that is out here, like in Montana, Wyoming, Arizona, all these places that's got wide open areas and has nothing on the properties. Build homes and put everybody in a home or an apartment, whichever one. I would say there would be enough room to tear down these apartments. and build homes in the place of these apartments. Give everybody a home. There's enough land across the United States for everybody to have a home. There is. There is. All the way across the United States, all the way from Washington, D. I say to the tip of Seattle, Washington, or Washington State, all the way from the Dakotas and Montanas all the way down to Texas, all the way from the tip of Maine, all the way down to the tip of California. There is enough land all the way through this United States to build houses and put everybody in a house, whether the house be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom, whatever. But put everybody in a house. You got chip in your arm, and wherever you go out to eat, they scan your arm. No more money, no more currency, no gold, no silver, no none of that. That arm. Scan it, you got your money, you go out to eat. That would put everybody on a same equal level playing field and would be the best thing in the world. Government, if you are watching me and you are listening to me, please take that into consideration. Please take that into consideration. Put the chip in everybody's arm, put everybody $100,000 on their chip, and make life so much easier for everybody. That'll be so much easier for everybody. March Madness. Dun, 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 dun. As we all know, March Madness is here. We got two teams that nobody in their bracket, everybody's bracket is busted. Nobody's bracket is still alive. I'm sorry. If you thought that the Houston Cougars were going to beat Duke, BYU, uh, and whatever other teams that they beat in the playoff, then you got another thing coming. If you thought Florida was going to beat Auburn, the #1 team, they played a game. But tonight, the Florida Gators and the Houston Cougars are going to battle it out for one shining moment. It sends chills through my body and brings almost tears to my eyes when I think about the young males that have given everything that they have to be at this moment in college, to win and compete for a national championship. Can you imagine what they are going through right now, the emotions, that they are just an hour or so away from the biggest dance they were ever competing in on their college level, outside of if they go to the NBA. A lot of them will not go to the NBA. A lot of those kids, and you have to think about this, a lot of those kids that are playing with Florida and with Houston tonight will not go to the NBA. So they will not be able to compete for an NBA championship. As we all know, there are plenty of NBA players that have played in the league for years and have never won a championship. Charles Barkley is one of them. So for these kids to be at this one shining moment, to know that one of these teams at the end will be able to cut down those nets. And like I said, it brings tears to my eyes, y'all. It does, because I'm thinking about those young boys who are right now probably sitting in the locker room being talked to by their coach. Because within the next hour, hour and a half, whatever time the game starts, because right now it's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern time, but they're in San Antonio, so they're on Central Standard Time. What is going through these kids, these young boys' minds, their hearts, the pumping of the veins, that they are about to go out and hit that floor and give it all they got. As long as you know, and I will say this to Houston and to the Florida Gators, as long as you know that you have left it all out there tonight on that court, no matter whether your team wins or loses, y'all are all winners. Each and every one of you all are winners. Know that. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you all for taking time out your schedule to sit and partake of this with me. I ask you to please share this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, tap all, not doing good. Let me know what I can do to do better over here on Facebook. I appreciate y'all. Y'all go back and watch this. Give me some stars. Continue to show your support. Follow me. Send me friend requests. Let me know that y'all continue to appreciate me. Doing my own thing. Marquez TV. Get me some more shirts made. They're gonna have all my handles on the back. And hey, I'm gonna try to sell those and make a little money. And all my proceeds will go back into my page for additional equipment and everything so I can get the equipment that I need and um and be able to, and be able to do better content and everything. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all take care. If you haven't, like I said, if you're not a subscriber of my YouTube page, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so that way you can get notified when I do go live. Tap all so you can get all content. Share my page for me, please. Show me some love. I appreciate that. And again, Caitlin Steele, I appreciate when you said show this guy some love. I appreciate y'all. Maria, hey, hi, hello, C Mamo, and everybody else. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all take care. And as I always say, God bless your hearts and all of your parts. Y'all take care. See you later.